Very good afternoon. Financial Management, Session 2. This is Balamurli from the Department of BBE, DG Vaishno College. Hope in the last session, hope you listened to that. In the last session, you heard about the basics of finance and financial management. Now, this session, we are going to see objectives of financial management and sources of finance. Objectives of financial management, profit maximization. What is profit maximization? For any business survival, profit matters a lot. But does profit alone determine the business success? If you ask this question, then answer is definitely no. Profit alone cannot describe the success of the business. Rather, wealth creation of the organization that matters. What is wealth maximization? That is increasing the value of shares held by the shareholders. It is called wealth maximization. Sure, profit maximization is a short-term one, and wealth maximization is long-term one. So, as an organization, we should look at both short-term survival and long-term growth. Proper estimation of total financial requirements. So, this you should know well in advance. What is your financial requirement, both short-term and long-term? Let us say you want to pay the salary, or you want to give wages, or you want to pay off your rent or loan, etc. You need money, right? Or you want to buy a new machinery, or you want to erect a new plant. Whatsoever, you need money. So you should have estimation on what time you are having requirement of what type of finance. Right? And proper mobilization of finance. See, mobilization refers to collection of finance. Mobilization refers to collection of finance from different sources. That is mobilization. Proper utilization of finance. Utilization refers to utilizing the money which is collected. That is called utilization of finance. Then maintaining proper cash flow. What is cash flow? Hope in the last semester you could have studied about cash flow management. So here maintaining proper cash flow refers to proper cash inflow and proper cash outflow. That is maintaining proper cash flow or cash flow management. Survival of the company. So not only the growth, but survival is also matters. So one of the objective of financial management is company survival. That is day-to-day livelihood of the company. And creating reserves. Whenever profit goes excess, whenever there is some money after dividend paid, whenever company reserves some money for future purpose, that is put into reserves and surplus account. It's called creating reserves. Create goodwill. What is goodwill? Goodwill refers to the reputation or image of the company in the eyes of public. That's called goodwill. Goodwill also has some monetary value that can be shown in the balance sheet asset side. So that is one of the objective to build or create goodwill. Next one, increase efficiency of the firm, because we pay rent, we pay salaries, we pay for raw materials. In turn, what the finance department would expect, that is increased efficiency of every department in the organization. Financial discipline. What is financial discipline? Everything should be there in its place on the right time. That is financial discipline. For example, every month first day salary will be dispersed. Every month fifth day wages will be dispersed. Every month seventh day the rent will be given. Something like that. It is called a financial discipline. So all the financial crunch will not happen at the same time, because your expenditure is dispersed throughout the month. For raw materials, let us say I will pay 15th of every month. Collections, I will do 30th of every month. That is called financial discipline. That is also objective of financial management. Reduced cost of capital. What is cost of capital? For example, You get money through debenture. You get your capital through debenture. Let us say the debenture attracts to 10% interest. Debenture attracts 10 percentage interest. If that is the case, the 10 percentage is cost of debenture capital. Understood the concept of cost of capital? See, you take the capital amount for your business. What return you are going to give to the investor, that is called cost of capital. In this case of 10 percentage debentures, that is 10 percentage interest will be given. The 10 percentage is called cost of capital. In case of equity shareholders, it varies. In case of bank loan, the interest percentage varies. That's called cost of capital. Okay, next one is reduced operating risk. So again, another financial objective is reduced operating risk. What is called reduced operating risk? See, as far as any service firm or production firm, their production or operation that matters a lot. So your financial management tools reduces the operational risk and uncertainty. That is called objectives of one of the objectives of financial management. Then prepare capital structure. What is capital structure? In the previous semester you could have studied capital structure is a mix of debt and equity. Capital structure is a mix of equity capital and debt capital. Clear? So it depends on the company what proportionate debt mix, what proportionate equity mix that will be decided. And there is no right mix, there is no wrong mix. It always depends on various factors like size of the business, nature of the business, geographical area, etc. The source of finance, as you know, finance is the lifeblood of any business. Without finance, no business can survive. There are several sources of finance which can be categorized into internal, external, long term or short term, fixed or working capital finance. Okay. What is internal source of finance? Using its internal source like retained earnings, reserves, and surplus. Okay, that is a source of finance. From external sources, bankers, debenture holders, external sources. Long-term equity, that is also a source of finance, or a long-term loan. Short-term loans and advances. Then fixed capital, then working capital. So working capital finances through current assets, you know it very well because working capital is current asset minus current liability. So all the current assets are known as short-term sources of finance. So let us get into the topic. Long-term finance, meaning and purpose. Long-term is a form of financing that is provided for a period of more than 1 year. Long-term financing is also known as fixed capital financing. What are they? Below are the purpose for which long-term finance is availed. Number one, to finance fixed asset, that is to purchase fixed assets. Expansion of companies. You are running company A and you are going to expand your business. Okay, increasing facilities. Already I'm having 50-ton capacity of machinery. Now I'm going for 75-ton. That is increasing facilities. Construction of projects on a large scale. Acquisition of companies, that is buying another company. For example, A purchases company B. What happens? Here assets and liabilities of company B becomes assets and liabilities of company A. Clear? Merging different companies with the existing entity. What is merging? For example, A does a business and B does a business, maybe a different or same business, but both of them join together to start a new business like AB. AB company. That is called merger. In case of merger, both the companies will still live. In case of acquisition, one company dies, another company survives. That is taking or buying out all the assets and liabilities of company B. A becomes a single company. Merging A and B join together, their assets and liabilities join as per the agreement and they do the business. Source of long-term finance, security financing, shares. These are issued to general public. There are two types of shares. One is equity share, another one is preference shares. What? Why it is called equity shares? Equity shareholders are owners of the company. They share profit and they bear the losses. Correct? So that is equity shares feature. Preference share. Preference shareholders are getting a fixed dividend and whose payment takes priority over the ordinary share dividends. And in case of winding up, preference shareholders are paid first. Okay. Next source of finance is debenture. Debenture is a type of debt instrument issued by the company that is not secured by physical assets or collateral. Here, without any security, company is able to rise using debentures. Clear? Company is able to rise using debentures. For debentures, company has to pay fixed interest. Next one, public deposit. It implies any money received by the company through the deposits or loans collected from the public. So, the companies can also source finance through deposits from the public. But for getting deposits from public, we should get prior permission from RBA and SEBI in case of things like this. In case you are a non-banking corporation, you should get a finance like this. And in case if you are a manufacturing organization, SEBI is the sole regulator. Clear? Source of finance, internal financing. As I said, retained earnings, reserves and surplus. See, as per company law, it is not mandatory to distribute all the profits earned by the company. And I agree that profits are rights of shareholders. But again, it is also company's right to give the entire profit or part of the profit or no profit. For example, you are a shareholder of company ABC Limited and you earn your share of profit, let us say, your share of profit, that is dividend, uh, let us say 10 rupees per share you get. If that is the case, the company may give either 10 rupees, that is the full amount, or 5 rupees as dividend and 5 rupees as retained earnings. Case 3, entire 10 rupees as retained earnings. Clear? It depends upon the company's discretion whether to declare full dividend or partial dividend or no dividend at all. So that is retained earnings. That is undistributed amount of profit among the shareholder. That is called retained earnings. Any idea why the company is doing so? From ethical point of view, it has to be distributed, right? Then why is company keeping a portion or keeping the entire profit? Because in future, the company may expect to spend on expansion. So instead of going to loan or another equity debenture whatsoever, the company can use the internal source of finance. Or sometimes to manage any economic crisis or market fluctuations, these money will be utilized. So whatever happens in the economy, the company life will be stable in the short run. Clear? So depreciation fund, a fund set up by the company to provide money to buy new fixed assets. Every year, the fund invests an amount of money equal to an existing asset depreciation allowance, giving the company money that can be utilized or used to buy new assets. Okay. So depreciation, every commerce student know it, right? Every BBA student know it. That's a part of value of asset which is deducted from the value of asset every year, and that is shown in the let us say asset side, asset minus depreciation value, and the same depreciation value is taken to the payable account debit side to depreciation on land and buildings, furniture, fixtures, something like that, and that is taken away from your profit. And any idea where the money goes, because when you are taken away something from profit, that will be rest in the hands of companies. So the depreciation fund is not paid to anybody, because P&L account debit side it says expenditure and losses, correct? Depreciation is the expenditure, but it is not given to anybody. Rather, the amount deducted and kept in the depreciation fund of the same company. What purpose the company is maintaining the depreciation fund? One thing is to know the current value of particular asset. Other thing, whenever the company want to buy a new machinery or a new asset, this depreciation fund will be used instead of going for a debt. Clear? Retained earnings depreciation fund are internal sources. Source of long-term finance, that is loan financing. Term loans from banks. Many industrial development banks, cooperative banks, and commercial banks grant medium-term loans for the period of 3 to 5 years for supporting long-term capital investments by the company, such as purchase of fixed assets, expansion, etc. The term loans may go up to 5 years for supporting capital expenditure or long-term capital investments by the company. So this is another source of financing in terms of long-term. Short-term finance, loans from financial institutions. There are many specialized financial institutions established by central and state governments which gives long-term loans at reasonable rate of interest for long-term capital investments by the company. Short-term business finance are required to meet day-to-day expenditure. When we say day-to-day expenditure, it strikes in our mind that working capital, finance or working capital requirement. It enables continuous availability of liquid cash to meet day-to-day business activity. The purpose of short-term business loan are given below. Number one, purchase of raw material, paying wages, payment of water, electricity charges, payment of any operational expenditure. The source of short-term finance. Bank finance, commercial bank grant short-term finance to business firms which are known as bank credit. So when commercial banks grant short-term loan to business, it is called a bank credit. Clear? So under that, let us see one by one. Cash credit. In banks, it is called CC, cash credit. It's a short-term arrangement whereby banks allow the borrower to withdraw money up to specific limit. Take a case. There is a businessman who maintains accounts with ABC Bank. And based on the business activities, let us say his turnover is 10 lakhs per month. So the bank sees it in the passbook, current account. 10 lakhs comes inside and he makes some expenditure, all those things. So what happens? Immediately the banker mind work because he has to distribute money to the needy people who gives timely payment of principal and interest. So immediately calls the businessman and the bank says, sir, you can enjoy a CC limit with our bank. Let us say the banker would like to give 5 lakh CC limit for 60 days. Let us say, because it's, in 60 days, this bank will be having 10 lakh plus 10 lakh, 20 lakhs as turnover amount on an average, let us say. So the banker is assured that definitely we will get back the amount. So he is giving 5 lakh limit. So what is the benefit to the banker? So for every 2 months, he is able to get 5 lakhs. Whenever he pays the previous loan, he is eligible for another 5 lakhs as fresh loan. Clear? This facility is called cash credit. Then bank overdraft. When a bank allows its depositors or account holders to withdraw money in excess of balance in its account up to a specific limit is known as overdraft facility. The bank OD or bank overdraft facility is given only to current account holders, that is business people, not for savings account holders. On the other angle, what is bank overdraft? Probably the people who are exposed to business studies knows this, but anyway, for other background students, I will explain it. For example, you are running a current account with ABC Bank, let us say, and you are writing a check, let us say 2 lakh rupees, but your account doesn't have 2 lakh rupees. Let us say your account is having only 1 lakh 75,000. What happens here? The bank will not dishonor your check, but as per the regulations, it has to be dishonored in case of a regular SB, that is savings bank account. But here it is a current account, and you are doing a regular business with the banker. The banker will immediately give 2 lakhs to the check holder or to whomsoever it is drawn. So he will get the money and he'll go away. But what happens? They will write this 25,000 as a debt from your side. It is you now the bank made you as a borrower because you are written the check. So you become the borrower 25,000. This 25,000 will be paid along with the interest, that is the profit part of the banker. This is bank overdraft facility. Bills discounting. Banks also advance money by discounting bill of exchange, promissory notes, and equities. When these documents are presented before the bank for discounting, bank credit the amount to the customer account after deducting the discount. Let us see this with the example. So bills discounting. Party A, lender of the case, submits promissory note of rupees 100 of party B, borrower. That is borrower signed in the promissory note. That's why we call it as promissory note of B. And now party A submits it to the banker C. So now there are three parties. A is the lender, B is the borrower, and C is the banker. Let us say the promissory note, it is mentioned that I will pay the money by July 15th. That is, B mentioned that he pays the money by July 15th, and that time the lender A also agreed for that. Lender A also agreed for that. But in the later on date, A needed immediate finance, urgent money he needed, but he doesn't have money in the account. Party B says he doesn't have money on the time, but he will surely pay on 15th of July. Now it is June 30th, right? So if that is the case, A needs urgent money, party A can go to a banker called C and submits the promissory note. So C discounts the bill or promissory note and gives 95 rupees to party A. He will not give the entire amount, rather he gives amount left after discount. Again, this discount depends on the one bank to another bank. So C discounts the bill, that is 5 rupees discounted, and gives rupees 95 to party A. Now the lender is happy, he goes away. Later, C claims rupees 100 from party B. Later means on July 15th. C, that is the banker sent the promissory notes to party B, that's the borrower of the lender A, and claims rupees 100. Hope bills discounting concept clear. So that is what given as banks also advance money by discounting of bill of exchange, promissory notes, and hoodies. And these documents are presented before the bank for discounting. Banks credit the amount to the customer's account after deducting the discount. For this case, the lender and the borrower must be the customers of the bank. A short-term loan. When a certain amount is advanced by the bank, repayable after a specific period, it is known as bank loan. The period is usually short, like 1 to 3 years. Clear, 3 to 5 years, long term. Some authors claim that more than 5 years is long term. Okay, short term finance, other sources. Trade credit refers to credit granted to manufacturers and traders by suppliers of raw material, finished goods, and component, etc. So trade credit is granted to manufacturers and traders by suppliers of raw material. Customer advances. Customer advance represents a part of the payment towards price on the product which will be delivered at a later date. Customers generally agree to make advances when such goods are not easily available in the market or there is urgent need of goods. Okay, I will give you another example. Let us take example of Amazon. So you pay for the product today and it reaches you after 15 days. What does it mean? It is customer advance money, correct? Prepaid one. Customer advances, prepaid one. Or sometimes not the entire money, a part of money will be given in advance and later on date, once the product is delivered, remaining amount will be given. That is also customer advance. Till the goods released from your hand, it is considered as advance. In case if you don't deliver the goods, the money is left with you. It is again customer advances. Sometimes what we say, we will do part payment, advance 20% I will give, so 80% after delivery is customer advance. This 20% is called customer advance. Sometimes customer advances 100%, like Amazon or Flipkart whatsoever. Installment credit. Only part of money is paid at the time of delivery of the article. The balance is paid in number of installments. Interest is charged by supplier for extending credit. Okay, this is installment credit. You know it very well. Only the portion of the entire bill will be paid in advance. So remaining amount will be paid in monthly installments. Again, for the monthly installment, interest will be charged. And this installment credit is also known as a type of short-term finance. Modern sources of finance. Modern days, the ways have changed so as to how startups and established business are sourcing funds for business. Below given are the unconventional sources of finance: angel investment, venture capital, private equity. An angel investor, this experienced industry person, provides the need for small startups and entrepreneurs. Can we understand this? He is having a wide experience in the particular industry. so that he can finance for the startups and when he can reap the benefits. Apart from funds, angels also invest the time, experience, network, and bus- energy in the business they invest in. So they're not only financiers but also advisors of the business, managers of the business, partners of the business. Clear? That is angel investment. Venture capital is money provided to seed early stage emerging growth companies. It's the money provided to seed early stage and emerging growth companies. Venture capital funds invest in companies in exchange for equity in the companies they invest in. It usually have a novel technology or business model in high technology industries such as biotechnology and IT. Okay, let me put it in a short meaning. See, you are having a new product idea. Let us say you are a technical wizard, but you don't have money to proceed a particular business. So what happens? You go and seek the money from bankers or equity shareholders. Since you are new to the business, no banker will rely on you, or no equity shareholder will finance it. In this case, venture capitalist is a single person or group of person, okay, who likes your invention, and they think that your inventions will definitely bear them multiple financial benefits in the future, so they invest in your business. Sometimes, as a technical person, as a innovator, you should minimum 20 percentage investment you should give, remaining 80 percentage they can. In some cases, 100 percentage venture capitalist will finance you. But the only thing is, it should be a novel technology or a new business model which is not existing in the economy or in the environment already. That is venture capitalist requirement. You should not do something there in the already there in the market. The business where the the innovation of the business should be having high potential growth in the near future. So at the end of the day, venture capitalists will also fund your business, manage your business, being your partner. After let us say 10, 20 years, when the company grows, they will sell off their shares and they will go away from the business. For example, I invested 10 rupees. For example, I invested 10 rupees in 1980 in an IT company. Now, every single share will fetch me 2000 rupees plus. Because IT industry has grown that much level. And compare your inflation rate, all things together, that reaps me benefit. So what I can do, now I can sell my share and go away. This is also a type of venture capital. Venture capital exit happens by selling their shares. So Food Panda, majority of you know this company. It's a funded by venture capital firm Rocket Internet. Private equity consists of investors and funds that make investments directly into private companies or conduct buyouts of public companies that result in delisting of public equity. Capital for a private equity is raised from retail or institutional investors that can be used to fund new technologies. Just dial, the local search engine was funded by private equity investors like Sequoia Capital and SAP Ventures. So private capital, where parties join together to fund a company. It's called private capital or private equity. Hope in this class you understood about objectives of financial management, sources of finance, yes, both short term and long term. So feel free to reach me on WhatsApp or call this number 9080 172288 if you need any help or if you need to understand the subject matter a little in depth also. Feel free to discuss anytime. Hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you. Happy learning. Good day.